Ladies and gentlemen, I thought you were not supposed to disrupt an official government proceeding. I thought that was the entire issue with January. They were trying to obstruct democracy because of a protest based on, political objectives of one political party. So, I thought you were not supposed to, as a lawmaker, obstruct proceedings, interfere with official government business. I thought that's what Kinzinger was crying about. But, of course, it's Democrats, and it's a policy or a political viewpoint that they have. It must be morally superior because it's Democrats, so they can go ahead and obstruct official proceedings, no problem, I guess. Washington Examiner, Tennessee Republicans expel 2 of 3 Democratic lawmakers who protested on House floor. You don't join protesters to protest the Second Amendment because, number one, you're wrong about the Second Amendment. Democrats are wrong. Just ask the Secret Service and why they're armed protecting Biden or Trump or President Obama or any president. Ask Democratic lawmakers who spend tens of thousands of dollars on security details. And it is not for a Democratic pundit to decide who is at risk and who isn't at risk, okay? That is the most absurd line of reasoning. You protect the president and the most vulnerable among us, generally with the same type of security detail as security or the Second Amendment. So if you can't afford a security detail, if you can't afford the Secret Service, we have the Bill of Rights, okay? And if you want to talk about like obstructing official proceedings, also ask, Democrats are clueless when it comes to violent crime, okay? Absolutely clueless. Criminal justice reform, number one, had nothing to do with that type of crime. You don't let out repeat offenders who have a long history of committing the most egregious atrocities. That's number one. Number two, in any city, in any country of the world, okay, in any major city in the world, repeat offenders will commit the most crimes. That is, if you look at the FBI statistics or city statistics or any numbers regarding crime and crime that utilizes that is correlated to the Second Amendment, we'll just say, it is a person who should not have been able to implement any Second Amendment rights, okay? Because a convicted felon, cannot purchase, okay? So, you look at Baltimore, Detroit, you can look at any major, Chicago, you can look at any major Democratic-run city. Strict laws against the Second Amendment. It doesn't stop a human being, free will, and a human being that is intent upon breaking laws does not abide by laws. Okay? So that's why you need the Secret Service protecting the president. That's why you need security details protecting Democratic lawmakers. And that's why you need armed security. Or you can arm yourself legally through the Second Amendment. Okay? When I had a threat on my life, years back, I went to the police. And the LAPD, the Los Angeles Police Department officer, amazing man, said, yeah, you know what? Second Amendment. He basically said it like that. And he said, yeah, you got to take care of yourself. Legally. Okay? Because the police cannot do much to help you. So when you see these atrocities, whether it's in Tennessee or anywhere else, somebody has all the time in the world, a person who is the epitome of evil does not go into a police department or a military base. Why do you think that is, morally superior, highly educated liberal? Why don't you answer that question if you stumbled upon this? Why doesn't a madman or a woman who's, just an evil person and hit subscribe to this channel right now, before we get to the protest and the fact that they've kicked out 2 Democrats and Kamala Harris is visiting, and of course, whenever Democrats act in a manner that they condemn, it's totally fine because they love hypocrisy. They don't even know what the word, like some cultures don't have a word for something. Democrats don't have a word for hypocrisy. They don't even know what it is. They just have media on their side. So, and just the way they roll. If you give an evil person 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, an endless amount of time to commit an atrocity until police with the same things that Democrats want to ban, come and end the life of the evil monster. What do you think's going to happen? Emotion controls, Democrats have zero logic when it comes to things. Zero logic. It's all emotion, and it's all the hypothetical bad person or evil person monster who will be stopped from committing the atrocity because of the laws. We're just going to go ahead and enact more laws. The evil monster who is picking a location they know will not meet them with reciprocal force is committing the atrocity without anyone stopping him or her. Hello? This is why you never see a person who wants to, wants to commit as much evil as possible go into a military base generally. I mean, it's happened before, but generally, they go into a place or a police department they go into a place where they know there's no reciprocal force. And I'm speaking in roundabout terms. But evil monsters who are intent on that, okay, that's that. They're cowards. They want to just go ahead and commit the evil atrocities without being impeded by somebody with the Second Amendment until, then you have to wait until the law enforcement gets there. And then finally, what happens should have happened initially when the person first tried to commit the evil. But you have in urban areas, in any country, repeat offenders, people who don't care about the laws, who shouldn't be armed, who are breaking laws, whether firearms are banned or whether they're not. And so you're not going to, it would be the equivalent of trying to stop drunk driving by banning alcohol. You're still going to have, not only will you have the drunk driving accidents, but you'll have speakeasies everywhere. Nobody will abide by the law. Or people will become criminals. But that's another story. And here you have criminals with a long history who should not have access to anything they want because they break the law. Laws at a certain point stop protecting society and start hurting. If you overregulate something or if you try to ban something, at the end of the day, the people who break the laws will win out, and the people who don't break the laws and follow the laws will lose. But anyway, you have Democratic lawmakers. Tennessee Republicans expelled 2 or 3 Democratic lawmakers who protested on the House floor. I mean, of course, media is rallying around the Democrats. Oh my God, yes. They're so heroic. They're so wonderful. Well, this is exactly what January was about. Exactly. The difference is that it's a political objective that Democrats admire. And of course, I tried to read an NPR article. It's you cannot find where the Democrats did anything wrong. Okay, if they're shouting and protesting with the protesters and joining the people who are interfering in an official proceeding, that's a problem. That's a big problem. So, anyway, hit subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen, to read my writing in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, and other publications. Go to hagoodman.com. And by the way, if you go to my website, hagoodman.com, you will see articles that I wrote in The Huffington Post on how black men should be armed. I wrote that in the Huffington Post, numerous articles to ensure civil rights. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now.